The FAIR Plan is supposed to be the insurance of last resort, but our investigation found more and more often it's the only resort, even for people in low wildfire risk areas. It also impacts those of us who are not on the FAIR Plan because we're now on the hook for the FAIR Plan's debt. Anybody who has insurance in the state of California. But here's the catch. Our investigation also found that we don't get to know much about the FAIR Plan's finances, and we don't have a right to know what happens inside their secret meetings, which are run by insurance industry executives, even though we're on the hook for the decisions they make and the debt that may occur as a result. Well, that all may be about to change, thanks in part to our reporting with new legislation.
It's been horrible. It's so painful.
Just down the street from Helen Meisel's Pacific Palisades home, the neighborhood is still scarred by the Los Angeles wildfires.
Do you feel lucky that your house is still standing?
I have mixed emotions.
Months before the fires, Helen says she was forced to switch to the FAIR Plan, which costs more and covers less.
I'm paying 2 policies, more than double, but I haven't received a penny.
Sarah was a first-time homeowner whose home survived a wildfire.
What they put me through.
She says the FAIR Plan left her feeling like she would have been better off if it hadn't.
They almost made me feel like I was going crazy.
Ken and Lisa were hoping to buy their dream home in a low fire risk area.
I love it, baby. I love it.
I do too.
But they couldn't get insurance.
They said, "I'm sorry, you're denied." And I was in shock. I thought, are you kidding me?
The reason all of us should care is that we're now on the hook, all of us, in case the FAIR Plan runs out of money.
Which it did, which it has.
That's right.
Former insurance commissioner Dave Jones says the more homes that are forced onto the FAIR Plan, the harder it'll be to cover those claims after a major disaster.
So since we're all on the hook, we ought to be able to see what's in those financial statements.
That was the heart of our CBS News California investigation, which found the California FAIR Plan is the only insurer in the state that does not publicly disclose its financials, and the only FAIR Plan in the country without public board meetings, minutes, audits, and reports. First, we brought our findings to insurance industry representative Rex Frazier.
What do you say to the argument that since we're all on the hook, we ought to be able to see those financial statements, we ought to be privy to the executive board meetings?
You can understand how someone would have that opinion, but that's not the law today.
The insurance commissioner saw our reports.
Should it be legal that I don't have access to the FAIR Plan's financials, yet I'm on the hook for their debt?
It should not be legal, and it's not right.
Following that interview, the FAIR Plan agreed to voluntarily increase transparency, but the only way to ensure accountability is to amend state law.
Can you commit, when you come back and sponsor legislation before the end of this session, that it will in fact require that the FAIR Plan is at least as transparent as its member companies?
100%.
It needs to be accountable.
For Helen, the proposed legislation is a big step forward.
What they put me through.
For Sarah, it's about healing.
Pretty traumatic.
And Ken and Lisa warn, without action by lawmakers,
Everybody's at risk. You don't get comfortable with your insurance company right now because they can drop you like that.
Now, the transparency component of this legislation is just one piece. It would also require the FAIR Plan to expand coverage, to hire more people, to help speed up the claims process, and maybe most importantly, to come up with a long-term plan on how to address future disasters. Because keep in mind, we're all on the hook financially for those future disasters if they don't have a long-term plan. Now, we reached out to the FAIR Plan. They said that they had not seen the language yet, so they couldn't comment, but we will be tracking this bill as it makes its way through the legislature and almost certainly will face some opposition. What's interesting, guys, though, is the one piece of this bill, this legislation that everyone seems to agree on, or at least a need for, is this transparency component. So we'll keep you updated.